Good morning. I'd like to welcome Dave Hodgson, who will give our invocation. Audience can please remain standing while the class key is held up, and once the key is lowered, you can be seated.
A Quaker blessing. The weather's a blessing as well. Thank you, Mother Nature. Good morning. As we gather today to celebrate this significant milestone in our lives, we turn our hearts to the sacred presence within, the inner light that guides us. We are deeply grateful for the education and experiences that brought us to this moment. May we carry with us a deep sense of thankfulness for the support of families, teachers, and community that has nurtured us along the way. As we embark on new chapters, may we be guided by a spirit of service, love, and compassion. May we strive to make a positive impact on the world, seeking justice, peace, and understanding. May we find the strength and wisdom to face the challenges ahead, always remembering to listen to the small voice within. Let us leave this gathering with a renewed commitment to live in harmony with ourselves, one another, and the world around us. Thank you, and may peace be with you all. I'd now like to welcome Ruby Besson and Darlene Toshiaba to the stage.
Students, faculty, staff, and families, thank you for joining us today for our Class of 2025 Commencement Ceremony. My name is Ruby.
And my name is Darlene, and this year we had the honor and privilege of serving our class as their VASA reps.
This year, we had the goal of bringing our class together and increasing overall student morale. While tasked with a lot of responsibilities, we always appreciated the support from our peers and faculty through the thick and thin.
Coming to Vermont Academy was one of the bravest things my family chose to do. As an international student, walking into spaces like this can be scary and hard to navigate. However, through all the challenges that came with integrating into this community, VA has instilled in me that I can be whatever I choose to be. The belief and time that's given to each student, the emphasis on community, and a diverse learning environment made moving from across the world such an enjoyable experience. I'm forever grateful to every single person in this class for challenging how I think, every teacher in believing in me, in who I could be, and every faculty member for seeing me as I am and making my years at Vermont Academy unforgettable.
Some of you have known for 4 years, and some only for 1. But I can't express how thankful I am to have had the privilege of getting to know each and every graduate here today. Whether it was on the stage, on the field, or river, and in the classroom, we have all shone. Thank you for our special moments, starting at the Wildcat Games, Winter Carnival, shout out Day Student Girls, and our final spring moments together at prom and spring fling. Thank you to my teachers for encouraging me each year to take the VASA co-president position. Experiencing the work of dedication and leadership has changed my life all for the better.
Vermont Academy, we will never forget you. We will never forget our first moments here, our ups and downs throughout our years. You have shaped us to be the best that we can be in every aspect possible.
Thank you, Vermont Academy. You are etched forever on each heart.
Thank you.
The program will begin with our congratulations to this year's salutatorian, Maya Spartalotti.
Hi. Almost 2 years ago, I was leaving AP Literature when I turned to a new classmate and hopeful new friend and asked her if she was going to lunch. She replied that she had to stop by the mailroom first to get a package and then bring it to her dorm room. I asked if I could come with, and we then proceeded to carry the box of her new beanbag chair to the top floor of Sturtevant, where we then, immediately after opening the box, ripped the beanbag chair open. Suki and I skipped lunch to sew it up and have been good friends ever since. I'm telling you this story because I think it shows an example of the kind of community that Vermont Academy has fostered for me over my 2 years here. Community is such an integral part of VA. It's one of the core pillars, sure, but it's so much more than that, too. It's a value that is instilled in every one of us as soon as we walk onto campus for the first time. And that's not to say that people don't make mistakes, but the care that almost everyone has here for everyone else is so special to see. It's this community that opens so many new opportunities for us students here at Vermont Academy. People in the community foster an environment that has made it easy to try new things, not to mention the sheer amount of activities VA has for students to participate in. In my time here, I was able to become a tour guide, a proctor, join an ensemble, and participate in so many performances. I was also able to learn so many new things. I will forever cherish my time on the girls' JV hockey team and all of the support that the team gave each other. I have also watched many of my peers flourish in spaces completely new to them, spaces that they never would have had the courage to enter without the the support of the community. Vermont Academy cultivates an environment that doesn't put people into one box. Here, athletes are artists, who are performers, who are tutors. People fall under so many different titles due to the opportunities the community gives them, which is not something I have seen in many other places. And it's no wonder the two words I use to describe VA the most are community and opportunity, because not only are they the two most important aspects of VA culture, but the community here cultivates the opportunities given, and the opportunities help grow and change the community for the better. It doesn't seem fair to me to talk about the community and the opportunities that I have been awarded at VA without talking about the woman who has given me so much support from the moment I stepped onto campus. My advisor, Ms. Holton, encourages me and every other student to join the clubs and try new things. She created an environment in our advisory group that made it easy to talk to each other, which then gave me the confidence to talk to other people. She has been my biggest cheerleader on campus, and she's always one of the first people who I want to talk to when I accomplish something new, no matter how big or small the accomplishment is. And I thank Vermont Academy for giving me this connection. Vermont Academy cherishes its community. It's the type of place where you could be walking down Long Walk and be stopped by a faculty member who you swore you've never met, but who knows your name, just to talk about your last class or how you felt about lunch. It's a place where you can come in as a terrified new junior who just wants to make friends and almost immediately find a group of people you can connect with. It's a place where you can become best friends with someone who you have grown up around yet never really knew. Vermont Academy is a place where you can learn and fall in love with a completely new sport. It's a place where you can feel comfortable acting for the first time. It's a place that fosters connection between you and your advisor. It's a place where you might accidentally tear someone who you've just met's new beanbag chair open and be sure that you're going to be friends for a very long time. As we all go off into the next chapter of our lives, I encourage you all to appreciate and grow the communities you belong to. And I hope that you all keep some aspect of the community that you've been given here. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage this year's valedictorian, Luis Yunta Bernabeu.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Luis Junta Bernabeu. Thank you for coming, faculty, families, and students. First of all, I want to thank my family. I want to say that, well, I love them, basically. Even though they wouldn't come here, I just wanna thank them for all that they did. And coming as an international student from Spain, Madrid, has been very tough. I barely spoke English. The time difference, the time when we eat food was pretty tough at the start. I want to thank three persons that when I came to Vermont, helped me supported me for the first time. First of all, Mr. Diaz. He has been my soccer coach for 2 years now. He has like been the first person that would help me. Like I would ask everything to him. He would like respond all my questions. He has been helping me also find a college for 2 years now. He finally did, Trinity University. The second person I want to thank is Mr. Chanis. He was my advisor the junior year and my teacher in the senior year. Everything like academically I would ask him. He would like give me all the responses that I needed. And lastly, Mr. Balder. He has been my history teacher in junior year. Like he was always supporting me. He was saying how good I was in soccer as a goalkeeper, but also like he was remarking me how well I was performing in his class. But also I'm here to talk about the soccer varsity soccer club. In my junior year, as Mr. Diaz also said, we won the Lex Region Championship, first time since 1982. It was kind of crazy. Then we won NEPSA Class C Championship. VA has never won a NEPSA Class C Championship in soccer ever. But we were also been undefeated. We didn't lose a single match. And also, when I came back in my senior year, we won back-to-back Class C Championship in ESAC with an amazing. I want to thank also Mr. Gilorian, who has been like supporting, bringing the energy to the team since day one. Without him, probably we wouldn't achieve these things that we did these past 2 years. But also, I want to speak. I want to thank all my soccer teammates who like bring all the energy to the practices and made these things happen. But also, I'm going to speak beyond the class and soccer. I want to say that I had a lot of fun with my friends, especially J1, who is Tristan, Alonso, Tomaso, also some Spanish such as Marcos and Lucas, and Americans such as Ty, Arjen, and Rodri. They have been very good friends. And yeah, I want to say again, thank you for giving this award. It means like a lot to me. And I want to say, well, thank you all, go VA, and au Paletti.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce the Chair of the Board of Trustees at Vermont Academy, Jeremy Herbert, class of 1999.
Good morning. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to welcome everyone as we congratulate and celebrate the class of 2025. It's a tremendous honor for me to participate in your special day. It's a privilege to call today's graduates fellow Vermont Academy alumni. I'd like to personally thank each of the families and friends that are here with us. The significance of this momentous day cannot be understated, and it's because of your steadfast support that we're celebrating today's graduates. The trustees and I cannot express with words our admiration for the Vermont Academy faculty, for their dedication and enduring commitment to all students. Every day they carry out their mission of education, which ensures Vermont Academy's place in the future and the success that we're celebrating. Those collective efforts, uniting home and school, is what makes Vermont Academy's community so special. We want to thank Dr. Zakara for the personal sacrifices she's made on behalf of Vermont Academy and the lasting impact she's made on the school community. We wish her the best in her life's mission of education. Today is the culmination of hard work and perseverance for the class of 2025. They're closing one important chapter in life while opening new doors to adventure and explorations. Their high school experience has presented unique challenges, and today's graduates have shown triumph over such obstacles. Vermont Academy changes lives, and I humbly ask today's graduates that as the years go by, your bond to this institution only grows stronger. From all the trustees, we wish you the best in your future endeavors and success in your accomplishments. Congratulations.
You may have to forgive me if for a moment we had an extemporaneous speech and another Jeremy gave himself, so I just have to find our place. Okay. I'm going to introduce this moment with the Anime Fenny Awards, and Ms. Schilling is going to read the names of the award winners, and we will begin.
Anime D. Fenny medals are awarded annually to those students that maintain a cumulative grade point average of at least 3.67 and who have achieved high honors for each trimester during the 24-25 academic year. The first person is Audrey Adair. Andy Darcy. Iris Adamoli Beluchlik. Mara de la Cruz Oria. Taylor Edwards. Christopher Einberg. Yuliang Fong. Allison Geyer. Anna Hernandez Merkel. Mar Ledzinski. Susanna Lambert. Allison Lance. Leo Plansky Solazzo. Lola Rothschild. Maya Spartalotti. Sydney Shaw. Kaylin Sullivan. Luis Yunta. Please welcome Brian Schilling for the next award.
Hello. Hello, guests, colleagues, and graduates. Today, I have the honor of presenting the Grant V. Fraser Award, an annual award in Mr. Fraser's honor, an award to be given to that student who best exemplifies this teacher's own dignified humility, quiet strength, and constant drive towards excellence. This year's recipient is more than deserving of this recognition. I have been grateful to have served as the academic advisor for this recipient for the past 2 years. I have taught them in honors 10th grade English and recently coached them on the girls' JV hockey team. I have so appreciated every opportunity I've had to interact with this student at VA. In many ways, this recipient represents the absolute best of the qualities we aim to cultivate in Vermont Academy students. She is academically elite with a cumulative GPA of 4.09, earned in the most difficult classes the school has to offer. She is a varsity athlete and one of our school's most promising artists. I am still in awe of her incredible senior art show. And last night, she was impressively awarded the Senior Art Purchase for her beautiful depiction of a birch tree. She is a member of the National Honor Society and a Writing Center tutor. She has won high honors 8 times every trimester she has attended VA. She is a member of the Cum Laude Society and winner of the St. Michael's Book Award and the Captain's Award for varsity soccer. All of these things being true, if you were to ask me to describe this student, the first thing I would likely remark upon is her kindness. She is truly kind to all she encounters and does her best to make others feel welcome and acknowledged. Her naturally considerate and empathetic manner empowers her to make thoughtful connections with her peers and instructors. This friendly warmth, however, is matched only by her unyielding determination and unwavering consistency. These qualities strike a productive balance for this student in which she is able to be uncompromisingly successful while building meaningful relationships with those around her. Those in the community have seemingly unending compliments for this student. Her Spanish teacher, Ms. Gilbert, mentioned she continues to go above and beyond in her work and analysis. She is not afraid to take on new challenges head on and won't back down. She is an absolute pleasure to have in class. Her instructor in advanced topics in biology, Mr. Miller, identified her as someone with a bright future in life sciences should she continue to pursue that field. Mr. Mayhew described her as a top performer in honor statistics. Ms. Barrett frequently remarks upon her preparedness and willingness to engage during potentially challenging class discussions. All of these comments help to outline the truly wonderful student she is. In further considering this student's general wonderfulness, I feel drawn to consider the place in which we all sit today. Graduating from Vermont Academy comes with some education about the state of Vermont itself. Even if that just means living here for a year, some students are less interested in the geographical or cultural relevance of our school's location, while others investment in this place runs clear through their veins like the sap of a mighty sugar maple. This year's recipient represents the latter. This student was impressively awarded the Green and Gold Scholarship, a 4-year full tuition scholarship to attend the University of Vermont. An award given annually to Vermont Academy's most promising Vermont-based student. If you know this student, it is crystal clear why she was so honored by the state's most prestigious university. The recipient exudes many of the most celebrated qualities inherent in our state identity and of the folks who reside here. Qualities distinctly aligned with those we also remember in Grant Fraser. This student leads with her intelligence and empathy, seeking ways in which to improve the world around her. In this vein, she is at her best when finding purpose in a community. She multitasks as a leader, learner, teacher, confidant, and true friend to those in her orbit. Importantly, this student cherishes the land and the bounties it offers when cared for properly and treated with respect. Their capstone presentation regarding organic farming in Vermont was one of the most cohesive and professionally delivered student presentations I have seen in my time as an educator. The former director of the Vermont Studies program at UVM, a former professor of mine, Richard Watts, once mentioned that Vermont's most obvious but hardest quality to analyze is that of our endearing quirkiness. And this student may have some of that too. From silly secret hand signals to impressionist drawings of peers at community lunch to impromptu doorstep cake deliveries to making all of us laugh at advisory, Iris's intellect is only matched by her capacity for joy and good-natured humor. In considering the description of the award, which aims to honor a student for their dignified humility, quiet strength, and constant drive towards excellence, there's no one I can think of more worthy of acknowledgement and recognition than Iris Adamoli Puchalik. I would now like to welcome Charles Butler.
Good morning. The Robinson Prize is awarded for a life that reflects the values, sensitivities, and actions of a faith-based individual. As these qualities permeate all of his or her activities, Darlene embodies these attributes, and I'm honored to present her with this award. Darlene is a person of faith, with values such as justice, compassion, and respect for others. She is sensitive to the beliefs and practices of other religions and cultures. She understands the importance of fairness, equality, and the protection of the vulnerable. Darlene is a DEIB member and a leader who advocates for social change and engages in social justice initiatives. She shows compassion for the suffering of others, is sensitive to cultural contexts, and understands how religion shapes cultural norms. In her role as a proctor, she has set a good example and positively influenced her friends. She does what is right no matter what to ensure the safety and well-being of others, even when it may be socially unpopular. Darlene is forgiving and sincerely respects others, even if they have offended her. I admire this about her and would like to model my life after that. She has persevered through hardships and unexpected life events while maintaining an outward appearance of being unfazed. Darlene is the child of a preacher, and her consistent attendance at Bible study has always brought strong contributions to the discussions and valued personal reflections that carry the meetings to deeper levels of communication. She is a prayer leader, a deep thinker, a preacher, and a Bible scholar. Darlene has consistently displayed a hunger and a desire for more spiritual wisdom and guidance. Darlene has been a keystone to the women's basketball team's success. Through her leadership, she has demonstrated empathy and concern for others through solid friendships and camaraderie with her teammates. She has used her faith to persevere through injury and setbacks, dedicating endless hours in the gym to keep her body fit and strong. Again, the Robinson Award is awarded to a life that reflects the values, sensitivities, and actions of a faith-based individual, and I would happily like to award this award to Darlene.
Please welcome back Brian Schilling for our next award.
Hello again, guests, colleagues, and graduates. Former Vermont Academy head of school Robert Long once said of the teaching profession, "It's really all about the kids." It's a simple quote, but one that I come back to on days when the job feels harder than others. A reminder of our purpose as educators, but also a reminder of the joy we find in interacting with students. This year's Charles Jackson Award winner constantly reminds me of these words. The Charles Jackson Award is awarded to a senior who has contributed substantially to the life of the Academy in areas such as performing arts and/or journalism, and who has been a loyal and concerned member of the Academy. This year's winner certainly fits these criteria. I have been this recipient's advisor for the last 2 years. I taught her in Honors English 10, and I coached her for 4 years on the girls' JV hockey team. An incredible experience. If you have the pleasure of knowing this student well, you know her to be one of the most energetically friendly, endearingly unique, creatively brilliant, and wonderfully generous students on campus. She is a person who makes moments brighter simply by her manner of existence and persistence towards positivity. She is a consistent high honors recipient and a member of the National Honor Society. I once noted of the recipient's performance in honors English, she achieved high marks in my course in no small part because of her enthusiasm and willingness to engage thoughtfully with the material. This is especially true of our considerations of Shakespeare. She was tremendously invested and involved with this unit and was a leader of our discussions regarding Elizabethan theater and theater in general. In this instance and many others, this student was a leader in her section. This year's award goes to a performer who not only loves Shakespeare, but truly cherishes every form of theatrical art and musical expression. This is evident in her being a part of essentially every theatrical production in her time at Vermont Academy, along with her membership in the vocal and jazz ensembles. When speaking about a student who has seemingly reached every corner of this campus with their influence, it only seems right to hear laudations from others in the community. When asked for comment, Amy Lanterman said, "When I think of this student, the words that come to mind are thoughtful, good-natured, creative, collaborative, and dedicated. She is an all-in wildcat. She has participated in nearly every performing arts opportunity available during her 4 years as an actor, singer, musician, writer, director, and stage manager. This winter, she also performed 2 numbers with the dance team, and you never knew this was something new for her. She is committed to her crew and JV hockey teams. She is a winter carnival standout, participating wherever needed and leading her team as an organizer and choreographer. She wants to do her best and help others to do their best as well." Mr. Cady had this to say: "This year's recipient has been a stalwart member of our production team for 4 years. As a cellist, vocalist, actor, improviser, and theater technician, she has been in every concert and theater production we have produced over a 4-year period. She is consistently positive and an encouraging member of our group. She's constantly a friendly presence in my classroom space, welcoming other students, listening, helping, and thoughtfully caring for others. She has been an integral part of Vermont Academy's performing arts program, and I am so grateful to have spent such a fruitful and enjoyable time together." The apex of this student's creative journey at Vermont Academy came this spring when she wrote, produced, and directed an original murder mystery comedy play. And though there were some bumps in the road, mostly scheduling conflicts, it all came together, and it was absolutely spectacular. Everything about the play, from the thoughtful and hilarious dialogue, to the intricate blocking, to the devotion of her classmates to bring her vision to life, it all exhibited the creative brilliance and passion with which this student operates. The play was a testament to the manner in which this student seemingly creates joy out of thin air to share with our community. In my opinion, Vermont Academy is at its best when it exists within a mutually beneficial relationships with students like Suki Lambert. Those who embrace everything about life on the hilltop while cherishing ideals of creativity, diversity, personal expression, and athletic competition. Those who take pride in all they do while arm in arm bringing along others with them. Thank you, Suki, for all you have done here, for being such a wonderful person, and for the enduring influence you will leave here. On behalf of the esteemed faculty, it is my honor and heartfelt joy to present Susanna Suki Lambert the Charles Jackson Award. I got you a big one. I would now like to welcome Jake Miller.
It is my pleasure to present the Bernie Spee and Olin Gay Award. This award is presented by Mr. and Mrs. Olin D. Gay to recognize a student who personifies the qualities of friendliness, cooperation, kindness, and concern for his or her fellow individuals that should not be allowed to pass unnoticed. So to greet this award winner, I'm going to share some of the ways that this award winner greeted me. J. Mill, J. Milliken, J. McGillicuddy, briefly JM. When I hear any of these called out in our hallways, I do not need to look to see who it is. It's Charlie Hodgson. From the time I arrived on campus, Charlie welcomed me like an old friend. I'm not sure he's ever uttered Mr. Miller. If he has, it's not been in my presence. Writing this speech has been a great way for me to reflect on Charlie, who is a student who doesn't get on stage to address the entire student body, but is an effective leader on our campus through his friendly affect and the genuineness that he brings to every interaction with his teachers and peers. Last March, we had a guest speaker come to our campus and introduced us to the idea that leadership isn't always what we kind of expect it to be. It doesn't always come from the extrovert, the loudest person in the room, the most forward-facing, but it often comes from these quiet leaders, these leaders at lunch tables in the dining hall. And Charlie is just that. He's steadfast, upbeat, and extremely emotionally intelligent. Charlie, however, despite our pushing and encouraging, has not put himself in the spotlight to be recognized. This is why I feel like this is a great opportunity to recognize a student who makes VA a better place by focusing on his interactions with his peers. I have two quick examples, kind of the presence that Charlie brings to our community. One comes from Steve Cady. Every day in jazz ensemble, Charlie, after packing up, would thank Mr. Cady on his way out the door. Now this started with just Charlie, but has since spread and is now a ritual that the entire class performs. Now I don't know, this seems like a very small thing, but as teachers, this is something that makes a huge difference every single day for us. And it makes sense that Charlie's peers would follow him, because in class he's constantly helping them, not in a loud, attention-seeking way, but in a manner that shows his genuine care for the well-being of his peers. The next comes as recently as last night, when Charlie was announced or acknowledged as a class representative for this graduating class. Those of us who work with Charlie, those of us who have been around Charlie, know that this makes perfect sense, because we all want to hear from Charlie. We all want Charlie to welcome us back. We all want to see how Charlie's doing, and we all know that he's going to ask us how we're doing. So if you're looking for a VA student who truly embodies the culture and values that we appreciate and value in this community, look no further than Charlie Hodgson, who wakes up every morning and chooses kindness. It's an honor to present you this award, Charlie. Okay, I'm holding it together here. Please welcome Amy Lanterman for our next award.
Good morning. The Ford Improvement Prize was presented by Daniel Ford to recognize that student in the senior class who has not only contributed to the success of the school activities, but has also won the respect of his or her teachers and peers through notable progress and improvement in academic activity. When I was thinking about how to speak for this year's Ford Improvement Prize recipient, I pictured her coming to Vermont Academy in a package with a tag that read, "Fragile, handle with care." Inside the box was a 10th grader with a strong intellect and a desire to learn, wrapped in a cover of self-doubt and apprehension. She often became overloaded or discouraged by her coursework because she wasn't sure she could succeed here. Thankfully, she didn't give up. With each subsequent year, as she took risks and faced challenges, she learned to trust in her abilities and her voice, and she thrived. It has been my pleasure to work with Skye Twining during her time at Vermont Academy. I respect and admire this thoughtful, resilient young woman, and I'm delighted to speak on her behalf. Sky is unpretentious, insightful, curious, and kind. She is a keen observer, sensitive to her surroundings. She's not one to seek the spotlight. She's soft-spoken, modest, and she does what she does based on her values and character. Sky may appear quiet and reserved at first, but she will enthusiastically draw you in when she talks about her passions and asks you about yours. She appreciates the experiences she has had and rarely takes an opportunity for granted. She has a genuine concern for the physical and emotional well-being of others, humans and animals, and I've seen her go out of her way to offer encouragement or comfort when she sees that someone is struggling. Sky's growth during her 3 years at Vermont Academy is remarkable. She is now a successful student, able to advocate for herself and seek clarification when needed without compromising her strong desire to be self-reliant. She has the capacity to work hard, the willingness to acknowledge difficulties, the resolve to overcome them, the flexibility to try new strategies, and the motivation to reach her goals. I'm going to go a little off script because I wrote this before Sky presented her senior independent art project. For anyone who saw her prom dress, it was not only a work of art, it was a testament to her creativity and her perseverance and her dedication to a job well done. So, Sky embodies many of the core beliefs of Vermont Academy. She's overcome challenges and learned to believe in her own worth and the worth of others. She has high personal standards. She seeks and gives help appropriately. She's willing and able to address issues and resolve conflicts, and she considers the impact of her action on others. Her integrity and kindness are admirable. As she heads off to Clark University in the fall, the tag I'd like to put on her package now is "Open slowly and prepare to be amazed." I'm thrilled to present the 2025 Ford Improvement Prize to Sky Twining. And please welcome Christine Armiger for our next award.
The Larry Smith Award recognizes a member of the senior class for the traits of cheerfulness, acceptance of responsibility, and wholehearted devotion to a job to be done, which were characteristic of Larry Smith. Larry always did quiet but superlatively efficient work behind the scenes to help others and to contribute to the life of the school. The recipient of this year's award has been an outstanding citizen of the Vermont Academy community since the very first day on campus, when as a 9th grader, they helped a group of strangers on the wilderness team to become friends through the simple act of building a campfire together. Through that cheerful act and countless others since then, this student has been helping those around him to feel a sense of connectedness to the land, to the school we share, and towards one another. I truly believe that it is impossible for a person to feel lonely or out of place when Andy Darcy is around. As his teacher and coach for the past 4 years, I have enjoyed the comfort and security of knowing that I have a willing and highly capable assistant whenever I see Andy on my roster. More importantly, I have a student in my classroom who seems daily inspired by the joy of learning for its own sake. Always early, always in the front row, and always eager to share a story about a recent adventure to the campus beaver pond, the status of the ramps, or the spring ephemerals in the sugar bush, or the diversity of neotropical migratory birds calling in the forest at the North Bridge. Andy shines with his excitement for learning and his zest for the pure beauty and abundance of life. Though I'm not sure he intended to seek out leadership roles, Andy's contagious enthusiasm has brought forth extraordinary outcomes and attracted many eager followers. His unyielding dedication to the Environmental Club has resulted in tremendous growth and a high level of student and faculty involvement in VA's forest management plan. His commitment to backpacking on the Long Trail has breathed new life into that program and helped to create a safe and welcoming space for many a novice backpacker. His unofficial role as the Vermont Academy Wilderness Team Captain has inspired many fellow students to embrace the simple act of the sit spot, to forage and cook wild foods over a campfire, and to build and camp in a forest shelter of their very own design. Beyond the realm of our environmental programs, Andy has also been boldly and joyfully participating in VA's theater arts program, running the tech booth, entertaining us in musicals and improv performances, and most recently writing and acting in his very own play entitled Random Neural Activity. When the admissions team needs a student to talk about why Vermont Academy is a magical place, or lead a family on a trip to the campus observatory, or a tour of the trails, it's Andy they know they can trust. There have been so many times over these past 4 years when I've needed a student leader to rally in a moment's notice, and with a bright and eager smile, Andy would volunteer. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say, and I would be remiss not to take advantage of this opportunity to express my sincere, deep gratitude to Andy's incredible parents, wherever you are, Mike and Lee. Mike and Lee, for all you have given to support Andy and for Vermont Academy, for the trail magic treats on the Long Trail backpacking trips, to Earth Day birding walks, to hours spent pulling tires out of the river at Herrick's Cove, and late nights helping out with an astronomy program, the whole Darcy family has earned our gratitude. Andy, we know you have a bright and exciting future ahead, but before you go, we want to make sure you know what a gift you and your family have been to Vermont Academy. It has been a privilege to have you as a student on our campus, and you will forever have a home in our hearts and among these woods. Andy Darcy, come on up. Where are you? Oh. All right, and I would love to invite my wonderful colleague and co-dorm parent, Gwen Curtis, for our next award.
It is with great pleasure that I get to award the Robert L. Long Leadership and Service Prize this year, endowed in honor of former Academy headmaster Robert L. Long. This award recognizes a senior whose leadership and service to Vermont Academy have earned the respect and gratitude of the community, and Sydney Shaw exemplifies these qualities in every way. Throughout her time at Vermont Academy, Sydney has led with humility, integrity, and a deep commitment to others. From warmly welcoming families through her work in the admissions office to offering insightful reflections at key events like Accepted Students Day, her presence has left a lasting impact. As a dorm proctor, mentor, and leader on both the rowing and snowboarding teams, I know, rowing's not everything, Sydney's influence is both far-reaching and deeply personal. She leads quietly, never seeking the spotlight, and uses her hard-earned political capital among peers and faculty sparingly, with thoughtfulness and purpose. In just her 3 years here, she has made a profound mark on the campus and off the campus as well, notably earning the Presidential Community Service Gold Award in her junior year, completing over 320 hours of service in just a single year. Sydney's kindness, quiet strength, and unwavering dedication embody the spirit of this award. Congratulations, Sid. Get the hardware. I'd like to welcome back Jake Miller for our next award.
It's my honor to present the Shanneman Cup, which goes to a member of the senior class by who his or her loyalty, diligence, and devotion to the best interests of the school has exemplified and upheld the ideals and traditions of Vermont Academy. Now, when I think about this student and how they fit this award, the first thing that has to come to mind is the path that they've chosen here at VA. The numbers of ways that they've extended themselves. This student has been on high honors for all 12 of their terms as a four-year senior. They've averaged 8 classes per year. This year was supposed to be 8, but in the fall we thought it might be fun to jump into advanced computer science at the last minute. So off we went. But really, if you know this student, we were probably just looking for more excuses to hang around Mr. Achanis's room into the late hours of the evening. Now, while lots of students here carry a similar academic load, this student also made large contributions to varsity soccer, JV hockey, and varsity lacrosse. And over the years, won a few coaches awards and has been acknowledged with major athletic awards as well. And what I'd like to do, as I introduce you to our Shanneman Cup winner, Ana Hernandez. Well, yes. Is to tell a quick story that happened earlier this year that my colleague Amanda Hodgson alluded to last night. It was the senior night for the JV hockey team. It was late in the game, and it was the kind of blowout that we usually don't appreciate or talk about on stage. However, in the final seconds of the game, VA took the puck down and Ana scored a goal in the final seconds. Ana, who had stayed on the ice nearly the entire game, only taking what seemed like 10 seconds or so to catch her breath before jumping back on. Ana, who never gave up, no matter what the score was. Ana, who kept pushing and attacking every second with intensity until that final horn blew. This is who Ana is, and this is who Ana has been at Vermont Academy. When other people look around and see reasons to put the ball down, Ana picks it up and runs with it. Every minute of her time here, she is spent attacking every problem around her to the best of her ability, with somewhat of a supernatural ability to be in 100 places at once, maybe with some kind of Hermione Granger time-freezing watch. No, that reference is starting to get old. But anyway, in her free time around all of this, Ana has volunteered and awarded a Presidential Service Award for her time helping the VA and Saxons River community at large. And now it is my greatest pleasure to see a student who has really maxed out every nook and cranny of this place to the best of her ability and effort, lift the Shanneman Cup the way that she's lifted all of us up around her in her time here. It is my pleasure to present this award to Ana Hernandez. Do you want to pass these off? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job. Go that way. Please welcome Dr. Jennifer Zakara for our next awards.
I will be presenting 2 Head of School awards today. From the moment that she arrived at Vermont Academy, this student has been growing her talents and presence on the stage. She is a singer, a dancer, a choreographer, a varsity sport athlete, and an actress. After her 9th grade year, her English teacher wrote that she is a dynamite performer, a brave pursuer of social justice, an adept philosopher, an analytical thinker, and a wonderful friend to her peers. Well, now that is what I call a fantastic start. By her senior year, she was choreographing the winter dance performance, showcasing every facet of dance, ballet, jazz, tap, etc. She also choreographed the day student girls dance for Winter Carnival for several years and enabled them to secure the win this year with a baseball theme. I loved it when they broke the fourth wall and made the audience part of the baseball diamond. Ruby Besson sang her heart out with confidence on the stage for the spring concert with a solo, and I'll never forget the way she tipped her head back and let her voice command the stage. She really did not need the microphone because she wanted to send her voice rocketing through the Nitachukas Theater, and we were all cheering her on. In 2023, Ruby was inducted into the National Honor Society. In her application for the National Honor Society, she wrote that it's extremely important to me that every member of Vermont Academy feels both seen and heard. Ruby has spoken many times about her desire to work against injustice in the world. Ruby gave a speech at the Black Lives Matter rally in Bellows Falls in 2020, and she organized part of it as well. Outside of Vermont Academy, Ruby puts in countless hours of community service, working on fundraisers, and often volunteering her time at Brattleboro Memorial Hospital. As senior class co-president, Ruby has led our community meetings, raised money for the class, managed student government meetings, planned some of the senior events, and been at the helm of the ship for student life this year. She's a valued tour guide and student ambassador. Ruby's wonderful art show contribution this year focused on the theme of flowers, and she radiated justifiable pride in her work when she stood by her exhibit in Alumni. I'm eager to see the path or paths she chooses in her career, and so happy to give the first of these two awards this year to Ruby Besson. This next individual has impressed me during his 4 years at Vermont Academy, and many of his peers and faculty have identified him as an unrivaled innovator. In robotics, coding, and most recently in pottery, he has been fearless, quick-thinking, and comfortable making a statement. Oliver Walsh Fischetti has shared his talents in so many facets of our school, including the science, music, and art departments. On stage, he has been a performer on the keyboard, and he has participated actively on the robotics team for most of his time at Vermont Academy. He's learned to improve his skills on the JV soccer team and in snowboarding, and he's taken up rock climbing. His teachers have commented that he comes to class with curiosity and questions and stimulates discussion. When I think of a well-rounded, all-in Vermont Academy student, it's not difficult to think of Ollie. One anecdote I'll share is that he addressed the need to repair the VA logo on our podium in the Nitachukas Theater and came to the rescue with a plan to use a 3D printer, make a new letter, and multiple backups in case this happened again. During last year's robotics competition, Coach Joe Achanis summarized Ollie's role in this way. Oliver's work was critical to the success of our system. Although he had his hands in almost every system on the competition robot, he alone created the CAD or CAD design, 3D printed it, and evolved the pixel grabbing placing mechanism that was so successful. To me, that's like saying the flux capacitor worked great. For his work, Ollie earned the Team Innovator Award and a varsity letter in robotics. Under his leadership over the last 2 seasons, he's led the Wired Cats team to be the Alliance captains of the second place team in the Vermont FTC Championships and to earn a berth in the New England Premier FTC event in April. This year, the team also won the Design Award for a well-engineered concept that demonstrated the use of the design process in every step of the team's journey. Ollie notices things, and this ability to see the world in creative ways, but also in its capacity or potential, will serve him well, not only as a graduate of Vermont Academy, representing our school and its values wherever he goes in life, but also in the way that he makes his choices about how he wants to live a life of purpose. I'm pleased to give this Head of School Award to Oliver Walsh Fischetti. Please welcome Joe Achanis for our final award.
I'm here to present the Barrett Award. and the Barrett Award is awarded annually to a member of the graduating class for all-around achievement in citizenship, scholarship, and athletics. It is the Academy's highest award. Each year, the faculty selects one student for this special award. The process of determining the recipient is a great deal of fun because we get to hear about all of the people here who have already won awards and decide on who the candidate will be. Yuliang Raymond Fong epitomizes this award, yet he is so unassuming that most people don't know how accomplished he actually is. He always works to be a part of something bigger while never looking for the spotlight himself. He focuses on his role while being true to his best self. Since he doesn't like the spotlight, I will do a little illuminating for him. Athletics. Did you know that he's been a member of 11 varsity teams and won 7 varsity awards while competing in just 2 seasons? In the spring, he's dedicated to managing and documenting the baseball team season as a photojournalist. But in the winter, he has been competing on 2 teams. Scholarship, he's taken almost every class in humanities and science departments while consuming, and I use the word consuming, every class in the mathematics department. He has earned high honors all 12 trimesters. He's a member of Cum Laude and the National Honor Society. Last year, he self-enrolled himself in the Vermont State Science Fair and won an award. This year, he completed a capstone project about AI and the effects it's having on society. He uses AI so that he can consume more knowledge even faster. Above and beyond the perfect mathematics AP test scores that we heard about last night, he is in the top 1%, that's 1% of students nationwide that earned a perfect score on the mathematics SAT. I don't think he lets stuff like that out, but that's okay, that's who he is. He's a proctor. He captained the robotics team to 2 of our most successful seasons. He's been on just about every school trip around the world. He cares so deeply about the environment that he helped reestablish the Environmental Club after COVID. And he is an avid nature photographer and a published astrophotographer. Through his photography, he shines a light on nature's beauty that surrounds us for everyone to enjoy. With the robotics team at the New England Premier event this year, he was on deck and focused tirelessly for 16 hours over 2 days. He helped each of the 4 driving teams prepare for each event, tweaking the computer controls between each match. He was working to ensure that everyone had the best possible experience. He is a person of few words, but is an unassuming leader on campus. Although these roles are not codified, he's the go-to tutor for math, science, and Java coding on campus. He leads through his actions and by his example. He blazes trails so wide that others want to follow. He prefers smaller groups and one-on-one interactions, conducting his leadership in a way that former head of school Jim Mooney would call face-to-face and heart-to-heart. I will miss you, Raymond. Congratulations.
Please welcome members of the VA Vocal Ensemble, Morgan, Caitlin, and Raymond, who will lead us in singing the Vermont Academy Evening Song.
Half the lyrics.
Well, I'm sorry you got the date wrong a little bit ago, but I've got history on my mind, and this is my last graduation. In 1959, Dr. Minnick gave the baccalaureate sermon at Vermont Academy, and he told the graduates that you have seen on this campus the compulsive power of dreams. Today, our students power robots and study xenobots, fascinating mergers of biological material and machines. They weigh different theories on dark matter, and they look at the impacts of AI in different industries. They consider the climate change impacts on organic farming, and they advocate for summer camp as a precursor to school success. Or they advocate for giving the needed supports for young students who have learning differences that may manifest incorrectly as behavioral issues. They study infectious diseases like COVID and Ebola and compare and contrast the approaches to treating these diseases in this and other countries. Our students create robots and enter robot competitions. They compose music and perform their original compositions. They knock it out of the park and win the Lakes Region Varsity Baseball competition. Our students know the compulsive power of great dreams. This has not changed in 66 years since Dr. Minnick spoke that night. He also commented that the dream possessed work with a plan and under an insistent master. I find this fascinating. Who or what is the insistent master? In truth, our motivating force may come from within or outside of us. What is the thing, graduates, that is your motivating master? To what extent is that thing that drives you insistent? I leave that for you as a rhetorical question to ponder after you leave campus and as you're stepping into your next challenges. So much of what I want to share with you today is hinged on the fact that this is my last graduation at Vermont Academy, on the fact that I have loved this school and the faculty and students through good times and bad, on the fact that the head's job is something that happens with an admin team and colleagues, but in the end is a job performed alone. Many of you know how obsessed I am with history, and during my tenure here, certain questions kept coming to the forefront, and when you're at the helm of the ship, you need to answer these questions in order to shape a continuous identity for the school. For you graduates, it may be all about making sense of your experience, of creating a personal narrative of your high school years that gives you the sense that, oh, that's why what that was all about, or that's what that meant, or why that happened. Recently, I got a gift from our former head of school's grandson. Both the school and the grandson, the school head and the grandson are named Larry Levitt, and he's come to visit me about 2 or 3 times in the 8 years I've been here. He's a very tall man, and as he walks through the door, I sort of feel his grandfather's ghost and cancel all my appointments for the day and spend it with him. So much of what inspired me here at Vermont Academy had to do with our founding, the coeducational environment that a small group of really dedicated and progressive thinking religious men and women formed in 1876. It's a very unusual story. That original dream was compelling and insistent. Our founders encouraged young women and men to study, to pursue the sciences, to go to college, and to dream big. Larry Levitt was someone who shifted the school during his tenure to an all-boys school. He had gone to Dartmouth, where he was a scholar athlete football star, and he wanted Vermont Academy to be a feeder school for Dartmouth, which it was. Frequently, when I met with Vermont Academy alumni, I would hear stories from Larry's boys. They called themselves dedicated alumni from 1934. They're not alive anymore, but from the 1940s through 1959. That was his last year here. Those who are still living could attest to Larry and Dorothy Levitt's way of defining character, values, and ethics at our school. But when Larry's grandson gave me recently the treasure trove of all his grandfather's speeches and letters of gratitude sent to him, I realized that this leader, too, was focused on the origin story of Vermont Academy, even though he had made the school all boys. What did I find? 2 weeks ago, when I had study hall duty in the CFL, I went through every single page that was given. First, he had countless folders labeled dividends. Well, what are dividends? They are payments made by a company to its shareholders. and they're a portion of the profits. What on earth did Larry Levitt mean by labeling these letters from former students dividends? I could ask the seniors of the faculty right now and make this into a mini class, but I'll cut to the chase. What he meant was that for him and for his wife Dorothy, who wrote our school song that we just sang, the profits that Vermont Academy made were in three things: the achievement and successes of graduates, the shared stories of happiness that the graduates sent to the Levitts as if they were a family, and the continued ways in which Vermont Academy and the graduates' experience lived in the day-to-day lives of these former students. Common words I saw included transformational, or joy, or gratitude, or names of teachers who had an impact on them. I thumbed through these dividends and took some screenshots of some of the notes and sent them back to those who were still living and let them know that Larry and Dorothy had saved these communications, and they meant so much. Graduates, you are the dividends of the present and the future. We cannot wait to hear about your future academic and professional pathways, and we hope you'll send a letter back to Vermont Academy letting us know that you remember, that you treasure your years here. We hope that you will attend alumni gatherings in Boston or New York or elsewhere, or that you will return for many, many reunions. Carry forth our values. At least some of those are the ones that Mr. Galoran had us often recite. Each individual is important, has worth and dignity, and is viewed as an asset. For years, I've pondered the question about why we have the name Vermont Academy. Why not Saxon's River Academy, like some other schools that are named after their location? Or why not a name after one of the founders, or an important educational theorist? We, along with Colorado Academy, have the name of our state, and that actually is unusual. In the Larry Levitt papers, I found him wondering the same thing. And here's what he shared, graduates, about our name and identity. The founders chose, he wrote, the name of the state and called it Vermont Academy. He said, I think this is a rather significant move on their part. Like all pioneers or builders, they had high hopes for this thing they were building. And like all Vermonters, they had a real love for the Green Mountain State. It was only natural then that they should name this new enterprise after the state that meant so much to them. Larry mentioned Mountain Day, skiing, hiking, and also the development of friendships. One of the happiest thoughts about the opening of school each fall is the realization of the many friendships all of us will make during the year, he remarked. Graduates, do you remember your first friendships, those early days with our Wildcat games and the competitions by grade? Larry Levitt also noticed that Vermont is synonymous with character. He wrote that some years ago we had a visit from a New York lawyer who just bought a farm and was planning to build a home in Vermont. As he got into his car, he said with a smile, the more I see of these Vermonters, the more I realize that if I'm going to live here, I've got to develop some character. Underneath the humor ran a vein of what Calvin Coolidge, Vermonter and former president of the United States, referred to as an admiration that he had for Vermont's indomitable people. The character that Larry Levitt referred to was for him part of Mount Ascutney, or Killington, or Equinox, or Mount Mansfield. It was solid as a great mountain and immovable as a rock face. He called it the pioneer spirit that came from the likes of Ethan Allen, from the Green Mountains themselves. He wrote, primarily, the pioneer spirit is a question of attitude or way of looking at things. The pioneer throws himself or herself wholeheartedly into whatever that he undertakes. He's constructive and a leader. He seeks new fields to explore and new obstacles to overcome. Larry concludes his study of Vermont Academy, and the pioneer spirit with the idea that what you all gained, graduates, at Vermont Academy is a lifelong hardiness. It would mean that because you attended Vermont Academy, you could be transplanted to college or life after school and be strong enough to thrive under any reasonable conditions. It would mean that you would have received something here that would make you able to take it, he said, able to meet hardship or adversity and not fold under it, able to meet temptation and not yield to it, able to turn hard times into further strength and opportunity. To quote Larry again, he said, I like to think that one of the reasons you and your families chose VA was that you thought that here, perhaps more than some other schools, you would be able to acquire hardiness. The Vermont climate itself is stimulating and hardly attractive to those who seek creature comforts, he wrote. Our teams, though small, have been scrappy and resolute. These are his words again. In making our athletic schedules, we've not been afraid to take on larger schools, and our athletes have had the reputation of not giving up when they're behind. Nothing in our school policy is intended to be softening. I'd say that now our teams include robotics and chess. They include our wilderness team. They include the individual striving of composing music, creating a painting or a piece of pottery, giving a speech, or taking a photograph in our gorgeous woods, or forming a band like Half Giraffe. Larry Levitt, head of school for 25 years, wanted to believe that he was sending off strong individuals who would face adversity and strive and be brave and create and know themselves. He believed that through service also we could give back, and that we learned just as much in the act of serving as we did in a classroom or trying something out of our comfort zone, and so service too was a part of character. Graduates, you're part of Vermont and Vermont Academy. You'll carry this hardiness and pioneer spirit with you. You will also have a place in your heart for your friendships developed here on this hilltop, surrounded by the great forests with their trails and trees and owls and coyotes and foxes. So much has been living all around us, and that sense of being or dwelling in a place where there's so much unknown or unseen is also a part of what has made you hardy. In closing, I give you what Larry called the trade slogan of graduation. Imagine as you walk down the central aisle here, holding your diplomas and seeking out the loving faces of those faculty, friends, and family who are here to celebrate you, that you're wearing a product label that says, grown in Vermont, resilient, strong, and hardy. Best of luck to you in your journeys, class of 2025. It's been my honor to be here with you and also with the faculty, administration, and all the staff in the dining hall, facilities, and housekeeping for these last 8 years. It's also been wonderful to partner with you, families, in the education of your children and in growing their talents, intellect, and skills. May the Vermont Academy family live on, proud, pioneering, and future-focused. Look out toward the horizon, graduates, and be well. Thank you. And now, for the presentation of the diplomas, Jeremy Herbert, class of 99, chairman of the Vermont Academy Board of Trustees, will join me in congratulating our seniors. Each year, a few students receive diplomas with distinction in particular subject areas. Academic distinction is not automatic. Vermont Academy seniors and postgraduates may graduate with distinction in a particular academic subject if they're deemed eligible by a vote of the faculty members within each department. To be eligible for distinction, a student must have taken at least one course in the subject area as a senior. Meritorious or advanced work is expected. Please welcome Assistant Head of School Brian Galoran for the presentation of the diplomas.
Good afternoon. Let's get started celebrating this class. Aubrey Adair, with distinction in science, visual arts, math, cum laude, and National Honor Society. Iris Adamole Puchalik, with distinction in science, visual arts, English, world language, cum laude, and National Honor Society. Tristan Iajak. Hazel Barreras, with distinction in English and history. Ruby Besson, with distinction in visual arts, English, history, and National Honor Society. Emmanuel Chung Hernandez, with distinction in history and National Honor Society. Lincoln Cromie. Andy Darcy with distinction in Performing Arts, Science, Math, English, cum laude, and National Honor Society. Mauro de la Cruz Oria with distinction in Science and History. Flynn Dennis. Zachary Druin. Katie Edwards. Taylor Edwards with distinction in English, History, Math, and National Honor Society. Christopher Einberg with distinction in History, cum laude. Yuliang Raymond Fong with distinction in Science, Math, cum laude, and National Honor Society. Chris Jiguer. Taylor Gleason. Daniela Gonzalez Bonet. Allison Geyer with distinction in Science, English, cum laude, and National Honor Society. Ana Hernandez Merkel with distinction in Science, Visual Arts, English, cum laude, and National Honor Society. Charles Hodgson with distinction in History. Mar Ladzinski. Susanna Lambert with distinction in Performing Arts and National Honor Society. Allison Lance with distinction in Science and Math. McKenna Level with distinction in Science. James Luigi. Jack Merrily. Marcos Martinez Lorero. Caitlin Mashur with distinction in Performing Arts. Kelly McMahon. Lucas Menchaca Ruiz Cuevas. Evan Michelucci. Cole Moore. Rema Nabasa, National Honor Society. Sophie Natvig. Cody Pagan. Vittoria Pinci with distinction in history. Leo Plansky Solazo, cum laude and National Honor Society. Tristan Richard. Cole Robinson. Shane Romano. Lola Rothschild, National Honor Society. Maya Spartalotti with distinction in English, History, Math, cum laude, and National Honor Society. Alonzo Serrano Martinez with distinction in Math. Sydney Shaw with distinction in Science, English, cum laude, and National Honor Society. Case Siegel. Tommaso Simonini. Logan Sinacola. Lucas Sinacola. Ryan Slaunwhite. Rodrigo Somoza. Cooper Spielman. Antisha Suna, National Honor Society. Morgan Studin, National Honor Society. Kaylin Sullivan with distinction in Science, cum laude, and National Honor Society. Cameron Swain Birchinal. Darlene Tashobia, National Honor Society. Carlin Tendler with distinction in Visual Arts. Sky Twining. Alexa Valderrama Ledesma. Sabino Vega Martin. John Velto. Oliver Walsh Fischetti with distinction in Science, Visual Arts, cum laude, and National Honor Society. Carmen Whitney. Aiden Willett. Wesley Walatica. Luis Yunta. Dodge Zakara. Thank you, graduates. It has been our privilege. Now, please stand and welcome Steve Cady, who will give our benediction.
Hello, Vermont Academy community, and thank you for the honor of sharing these closing words with you on such an important and transformative day. As you know, VA is a remarkable place that helps create relationships and learning that will last forever. A large part of why that is so is due to the kindness, care, and love that the people of this place, a thing we know to be our community, offer each other every day. Prioritizing compassion and empathy in our lives will always yield positive results. The following brief words, an adaptation of the writing of Swiss philosopher Henri Frédéric Amiel, summarize in stunning clarity the importance of living each day with the goal of bringing happiness to others. And so, Vermont Academy, in closing, I offer you this. Life is short, and we do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who make the journey with us. So, be swift to love and make haste to be kind. And let the blessings of this place, which helped make us and loves us, which travels with us, be with us now and forever. Thank you. Please be seated. I now call up the class marshals and Dr. Zakara to come forward.
I now present to you the class of 2025. Seniors, move your tassels from the right to the left. And now for the ceremonial cap toss. On my mark, 1, 2, 3.